This episode of the Commercial Real Estate Investor Podcast is brought to you by my CRE Accelerator Mastermind, where you'll get access to my step-by-step investment blueprint, essentially a library of resources on how to invest in commercial real estate. You'll get connected to a supportive community of other commercial real estate investors that are doing projects just like you. You'll get personalized coaching and feedback from me every step of the way. Go to www.crecentral.com to learn more. Welcome back to 30 Deals in 30 Days. We are on day 15, which means we have already underwritten almost half of the deals that we will be underwriting for this entire challenge. Excited to be back with you guys. Hopefully you didn't miss this morning where I was underwriting one of my earlier deals. Actually, the first deal that I ever did, the first deal I raised capital for. It was kind of funny walking back through that. I'm sure you guys could tell I was remembering aspects of the deal as they were coming up. We didn't have anybody submit for a deal in the 30 Deals, 30 Days chat, so we're going to pick a random deal. So I put in the comments, y'all pick an asset class. Drop some random sort of asset class, and we will go online, and I'll pick like a random city. And we will see what it comes up with. Somebody's got to drop an asset class in the comments. Come on, let's hear it. All right, I'll just pick the city myself. I'll pick the asset class myself. All right, so I'm picking Timothy. I'm picking the city. I need y'all to pick the asset class. And I just went to a random city generator that gave me Corpus Christi, Texas. I can honestly tell you I have never underwritten anything in Corpus Christi, Texas. I do know Robert O'Keen loved it down there. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. Flex. Kevin's saying flex. Man, we've underwritten so many flex deals. But, hey, Kevin's the first one to jump in with an asset class. So we're going to go ahead and do it. All right, we're going to go to industrial flex. And let's see what they've got going on here. All right, we've got a 25,000 square foot warehouse. Looks like the price per square foot on that one's roughly $100. Not bad. This is literally a barn. Industrial warehouse next to Corpus Christi Airport. I mean, come on, that looks like it's. I'm pretty sure that's just an old barn. All right, I don't know that that's really an industrial warehouse. I think we're being a little generous. With our real estate speak here, $285,000 for a 2,600 square foot building. So you guys, I hear all the time, like commercial real estate's too expensive. It's not approachable. Come on, right there. That's $100 a foot. All you'd have to do is rent that out for $10 a foot net. On 2,600 feet, that's what, $26,000 a year. If you can't find a tenant that can pay $2,100 a month to own an auto loan, it's basically an office. I mean, come on, what are you doing? There's another one, $325,000. See, these opportunities are everywhere. Now, this one's more expensive on a price per square foot basis, and man, that's an old interior. All right, we're going to pass on that one. That's going to take too much work compared to everything else. $109,000 for 864 square feet. Man, if you guys want to get like really cheap opportunities, go to Corpus Christi. $900,000 for a turnkey daycare or flex use building. Ooh, it literally is a turnkey daycare. Wonder if they just left everything else in there. We got a premium industrial site with heavy infrastructure upgrades. Prime redevelopment opportunity, unpriced, which means that I can't be bothered. $3 million income producing 4.7 acres, 422,000 square feet. Surely, well, that wouldn't even count the land. That doesn't even make sense. If it was truly 422,000 square feet, that's 10 acres of building. I don't think that's going to do it. Robert is saying, I put it in the wrong chat. Storage units or a bar for sale on Broadway in Nashville. I can tell you right now, the only way to make that the real estate work on Broadway in Nashville is if you have a bar in hand. I mean, they're unbelievably expensive. I mean, I can pull it up. We'll find something in Corpus Christi, but I'll show you guys what's going on. I don't even know if there's anything. I wonder what's for sale on Broadway in downtown Nashville right now. We shall see. Anything? Oh, well, we got to go to all. All right, we got a building on 5th Avenue, which is not really the most desirable spot, for $2.27 million, and it's just a condo. Look at that. It's just the second floor office space for $2.27 million. Pretty crazy. There's some more over here kind of closer to Printer's Alley. Yeah, see, most of these are condos. Can't even get the full building. Unpriced. I mean, land in Nashville is pretty damn expensive. I mean, we're working on getting a listing downtown right now. Right around an acre. It'll probably be a $44 million listing. Somewhere between 35 and 44. All right. Let's go back to Corpus Christi. See what we got going on over here. I have an idea of which building we should look at, just based on the price per square foot. That's one of the first things that I like to do. I mean, if you have a hard time looking at these markets, trying to figure out, like, okay, well, how do I narrow it down to properties that I'm more likely to like? Just narrow it down on a price per square foot basis. Come over here to the filters. Set the max price per square foot to $100. That's going to eliminate basically everything that's not going to work anyway. Ha! That eliminated all of the ones that we were looking at. Let's go to 120. All right, I like this building. So let's underwrite this one. This seems like a decent opportunity. Ooh, no other pictures. Come on, man. People kill me. Here's one picture from Google Maps. You can literally see the 2022 Google right there. And that's it. Man, commercial real estate's funny, man. I mean, you get a lot of these brokers that this one seems like a literal cowboy. I was going to say they're all cowboys, man. They just kind of operate by their own rules. Built in 1948. Wonder when it was renovated. I'd be worried about infrastructure, like plumbing, honestly. Electrical. 2 drive-in roll door garage doors facing Stanley Street. Unique functional flexibility. Ideal for tenants requiring service-based vehicle storage, equipment access, or related commerce. Industrial zoning complements its prior use as an office building. Future repositioning optionality. Strong vehicular access. Well-positioned for occupancy or owner investment. Ample on-site parking, strong visibility and traffic exposure, flexible layout, supports office, etc. Established commercial area, okay? Zone light industrial, 2,600 feet. I was hoping to find something in this flyer that said, like, hey, it was built in 1948. It's been renovated at least once since. I'm sure it has. But we don't know. So I'm going to assume it's probably going to be, I mean, this deal is probably not going to work. I'll tell you that right now. Based on the way that I would underwrite it. Because it's going to take at least 30 to 40 bucks a foot, in my opinion, to make this happen. But I'll show you guys. Anyway, I'll show you how I know it won't work. That's kind of the beauty of doing this all the time. You get to, like, you just get these back of napkin calculations where it's very easy for you to say, yeah, it's not going to work. Let's just move on. So I highly recommend, if you're not joining me in underwriting a deal every day for 30 days, what are you doing? You should go out and try to find the same deals that I'm doing, or go out and find another one, just underwrite it, and submit it in the deals chat. Because I'll pull it up. We'll go through your underwriting. That way you can actually get some active feedback on what you're working on. All right, let's see here. This is 2,662 square feet. And they are asking $285 even. It's pretty cheap. I mean, it's a cheap number, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the math is going to math. All right. I'm going to assume that if it was in an office space last, like it's in decent condition, which means that they would have had to have renovated at some point, but I don't know what we're looking at. So I'm going to have to assume it's $90,000. Not 900. That would be impressive. So that puts us about 34 bucks a foot. Closing costs, we got to throw that in at 2%. So that's going to be what? Roughly $4,000? Oh, $8,000. That's still so cheap. Down payment, let's do 25%. We will not be getting an interest rate of 5.5%. That was from a deal that I did 6 years ago. Man, I miss those interest rates. Let's say 6.75. It's a smaller deal, low risk. And right off the top of my head, we're going to have to get $11 a foot to make this work. All right, 3% annual increases. We'll say that we're vacant for 6 months and then we stabilize. All right. Assume 50 cents a foot in expenses. That's just asset level expenses, right? We're going to sign a triple net lease, so we don't have to worry about it. We don't have any maintenance issues. I'm making the assumption the roof is in great condition. We are going to pay 6% in brokerage fees. Got to do that. All right, this is not calculating properly. You can see it should be all 100% right here. I'm just going to zero that out for now and come back and figure out what's going on with that formula later. Oh, can't do orange. Got to do red. All right. That brings us to a debt service coverage ratio that never works, and the bank gets mad, and the loan gets called, and we are failed commercial real estate investors. But hey, we're making 1% every year. We actually even triple that by year 3. Show me somebody else that's able to triple their income, triple their returns in a few years. Let's see. I think this is definitely going to be closer to like a 7.5 cap if we end up selling it. Negative 2.68% returns. Not good. Let's see here. So we lose We have a shortfall of about 14 grand. Fortunately, we're bringing 16 grand in operating capital. Kevin is saying your operating capital only accounts for 1 month of operating expenses if you have a shortfall. In previous underwritings, you did 100% vacancy for year one, which is 12 months. Meant to ask about that. Yeah, so Kevin, it's calculating right now. See, operating capital is 16 grand. And our shortfall is $14,000. So it's saying you need to bring a little bit more than that. If you're vacant for 12 months, you need to figure out what your actual operating expenses are for 12 months and then fully underwrite them. All right. So deal doesn't work unless we get probably $13 a foot. Let's see how that changes the deal. We hit our debt service coverage ratio in the second year, which is good. 5 to almost 8% cash on cash returns, pretty sweet. And an 80% overall return on our capital, which puts us at about a 16% annualized cash on cash return. Not bad, especially if you're doing this deal solo. Like this is just hey, I want to get my feet wet in commercial real estate. The problem is, do we actually think that we can make $13 a foot in rent? So let's go see what's going on in Corpus Christi. I'm not going to do all types. We're just going to do industrial. No, thank you. All right, $10 a foot. Let's see what the insights are first. Now, keep in mind this is over all of Corpus Christi, so not our specific area. $9 a foot median. Not good. 6 months vacancy. That's what we accounted for, so I feel good about our vacancy. Square footage is 6,700. So what I would want to do now is say, okay, well, I've only got, 2,800 square feet or 2,600. So I'm actually going to drop this down to 3,000. Actually, that same tenant might be looking for upwards of 3,500. So let's drop it to there. Look at that. The rate goes up. Now we're at $11 a foot. Okay. We're looking better. Looking better. Let's see what our competition is. This is definitely nicer, but it's a more industrial area. So maybe we're going for a different kind of tenant. This looks like a former prison. I don't think we're competing with that. Corpus Christi Business Park, we'd probably definitely be competing with this. They're saying $1.25 a square foot a month. I wonder why it's showing per square foot per month instead of annual, but they're saying basically, over 12 to 15 bucks a foot, basically. $6 a square foot a year. That's a 10,000 square foot building. Wonder how that one got snuck in there. That's $12 a foot. Okay, so I feel good about $12 a foot. I don't know that I feel a lot better about anything else. So I would drop this down to 12. And then there's a couple of things I'll show you guys that I would do to then make this make sense if we had to, right? Because right now we're only getting a 37% return on our capital over 5 years. Not great. Not something that we're going to write home about. Kevin is saying with that CapEx, I definitely believe you can get the $11. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right on that one, man. So we've got it at 12 now. I don't think that we're going to be able to bring this much money to the table. I think we might need to bring half of that. Let's hope that our MEP is all nice and working, and maybe we have to replace an AC unit, but this small, we could probably just do a wall unit or a little split unit for under $5,000. Let's paint it. That'll get us paint on the exterior. Maybe we could seal and stripe the parking lot. We could probably refresh the bathrooms a little bit. Not refinish them, but just refresh them a little bit. Painting and flooring on the interior. That $45,000 should go way further than all of that. And then leave us a little bit of extra money in case we find there's a roof leak or something. All right. So At that point, now we're getting 6, 7, 8, 9% cash on cash returns, and we're doubling our money over 5 years. That's how that becomes a deal. Now, remember, I don't like to just stress test these deals and start changing numbers to make a deal work. You should never do that, right? What I would now make the assumption, or what I would now actually start doing, is making calls to my contractors to see, is $45,000 a realistic budget for me to paint the exterior and the interior, redo the flooring, seal and stripe the parking lot, refresh the bathrooms, maybe patch the roof, right? That's probably a pretty realistic number considering how small this property is, but you got to call your local contractors. I had a member of the mastermind telling me he's working out in California that it would cost him $250 a square foot to build flex space out in California. That sounds crazy to me because we've got people that are in the group that are building their flex spaces for, closer to $100 a foot, $120 a foot. So, wild. But it depends on your area. Unfortunately, I don't know what permitting fees are out in California. But let's say, okay, well, maybe if we maybe we can only bring 30 grand. And we're not able to make it look really nice on the outside, so we're gonna have to drop our rent a little bit. Right? Now we're competing against, lower tier tenants. Look at that. We still get to our 1.25 debt service coverage ratio pretty quickly. We still get to positive cash flow in year 2. And then overall, it's a 76% return. So 15% annualized cash on cash. Not bad, right? Again, for your first deal, it's a pretty great deal, right? I mean, if I had never done a commercial real estate deal before, this one is so bite-sized and manageable, it's kind of hard to screw it up, to be honest with you. If I hit those metrics on my first deal, I would consider that a home run. 15% annualized cash on cash return. It means you almost doubled your money over 5 years. You did really well. And you learned a lot in the process. I think that's what's a lot of fun about this. So, interesting deal for sure. Corpus Christi seems like a pretty interesting market. I would have to dig in and figure out what's going on in the Corpus Christi Bay that would make you want to move over there. But already, there's a port nearby. So there's a lot of traffic going on over there. Look, there's even Portland. So awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. That is day 15 of 30 deals in 30 days. If you haven't joined the challenge, go and join it. What are you doing? Get the spreadsheet that I'm using. Get all of my tools. Get access to my course through the end of the challenge, which is another 14, 15 days. And learn how to do these on your own. And start submitting those deals so that I can review them and help you with your underwriting as we are going through this. Appreciate you guys for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow for day 16. This episode of the Commercial Real Estate Investor Podcast is brought to you by my CRE Accelerator Mastermind, where you'll get access to my step-by-step investment blueprint, essentially a library of resources on how to invest in commercial real estate. You'll get connected to a supportive community of other commercial real estate investors that are doing projects just like you. You'll get personalized coaching and feedback from me every step of the way. Go to www.crecentral.com to learn more.